Original.
Hello and welcome to Webcrawlers. This is our mailbag episode where we play your voicemails and maybe read your emails. We'll see if there's anything of note. I'm Allie Siegel.
I'm Melissa Stettin.
And I, producer Maria.
Let's see if there's anything in this.
We have one from Sarah called Prison Escape. Hey, ladies. First off, love the show and all of you so much. The other day I was at my parents' house listening to your podcast and laughing out loud. My mom heard and asked who I was on the phone with. It's truly like hanging out with my besties every time I listen. Now, on to the important matter. Your latest episode about Richard Lee McNair made me think of another famous prison escapee named Yoshi Shiratori. He's considered an anti-hero in Japanese culture. There's an excellent YouTube video explaining his 4 prison escapes.
Oh my God.
Thought it'd be a fun idea for an episode in the future. I don't want to spoil anything. But one little tidbit is that he could voluntarily dislocate his joints, which aided in his escape. It's wild, and I would love to hear your take on it. Anyway, love you. La la la. That's interesting.
Wow. Yeah, I'd say that dislocating all your joints would certainly be helpful.
Yoshi Shiratori.
God, I actually think I've heard that name before.
Okay.
All right.
Should
all
we get
right.
into these?
Yeah, let's do it to it, baby.
These voicemails. Also, today, this episode is coming out on November 25th.
Oh, Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Gobble, gobble, bitch.
To those who celebrate. Gobble, gobble, bitch.
Gobble, gobble, bitch.
Okay, first message.
Hi, this message is for the web crawlers. This is Laura from Ohio. Again, I've called, I think, a few times, but driving home from work, so I figured I'd call. And I am calling to tell a story about a synchronicity that happened, I think, last week. So my husband and I were trying to get, our shit together. We just moved to a new city, and we just got new jobs and stuff, so we're trying to, establish good sleep schedules and, try to be real adults, quote unquote. My mom randomly also lives in the same city. One time sent me a text that she got on the email and said that someone had signed it and said, variety is the spice of life. And she sent it to me in a text, and we were talking about it, and she was like, this is so nice. This is exactly right. Blah, blah, blah. And then literally not 10 minutes later, my husband comes in the room and we're talking, and he says, variety is the spice of life. Now, I had never heard this phrase until my mom had sent it to me in a text. I grew up speaking Spanish, so a lot of the idioms that you learn from your parents, I just have never really heard. So a lot of them catch me off guard sometimes, and I'm like, oh, that's new. So yeah, my within literally 10 minutes of each other, I heard that phrase uttered, and I was just I stopped my husband. I was like, what the fuck did you just say? So yeah, that was a really interesting synchronicity. I feel like now I'm really trying to focus on variety being the spice of life.
Yes.
And then I also have another story about, I heard you guys talking about when someone was drunk and tried to, break into someone else's house thinking it was her house. And that actually happened to me. I wasn't the one who was trying to break into the house, but a drunk girl tried to break into my house at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my God.
When I was in college. Luckily, my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, was staying over. But I don't know what she was on. This girl was literally we had to call someone to come fix our door because she broke it. The lock was the whole door was basically splintered. There were footprints
oh my God,
up the door, if not higher.
Wow.
She was literally trying to kick our door down, and she was screaming. She was like, I live here. And we were like, if you live here, then what's the address? And we lived in apartment G. And she was like, it's just G. And so it was just wild. We did end up calling the cops. Luckily, she was just a small white girl, so I didn't feel too
She's
guilty
fine.
about that. But, she apparently had a habit of doing this.
Oh my God.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I love the show as always. And bye.
You got a habit of kicking in doors for the wrong home.
Holy Toledo.
Wow. Variety is the spice of life.
Variety. That's some variety for you.
That's variety. Next message.
Hi, this message is for the web callers. I've called in, I think this is my
3rd time
Woohoo.
now. So if anybody ever looks through my phone calling history, it's probably going to look like a little creepy. I guess 3 times is not that many times to call someone. Anyway, I'm calling because I listened to an episode. I honestly don't remember when it came out because when I started listening to the podcast, I just binged a bunch of them. But you had an episode about lucid dreaming and like tips for how to lucid dream. And I'd never done it before, but I remember listening to the episode and being like, that's cool. And this is several months ago. And I sort of started kind of trying to like notice certain things that y'all talked about. I think one of them was like how technology always looks super weird in dreams and you can't like if you're on your phone, it's all like messed up. And I definitely started noticing things like that. But a few nights ago, I had like an actual full-on lucid dream for the first time, which was so crazy. Like the dream was kind of doing its own thing up to a certain point. There was this moment of realization that I had. Like it was a really emotionally heightened moment. I was in this house. I just like knew instinctually that it was my ex-best friend's house. I've been best friends with this girl for 5 years in real life, not in the dream, but also in the dream. And she just ghosted me one day, which was really upsetting.
Oh, no.
My God.
And in the dream, I suddenly realized I was in her house. And I was like, this isn't good. Like, we're in her house and she's not here. We need to leave. But in that emotionally heightened moment, I realized that I was dreaming. And it was so crazy because it was like super vivid. And I very much felt like I was standing in a space. But I turned to like the people that were there with me in the dream. And I was like, oh, this is a dream. And then the other people who were obviously me, which I knew in my dream, were like, oh shit, like, no way, that's crazy. Like, what do we do now? And I was like, okay, well, I should be able to control what happens now, right? So like, I don't know, make a dragon. And then nothing happened.
Make a dragon?
Make a dragon.
I like said it out loud in the dream. And so I was like, okay, I don't think that's how it works. And then I walked down a hallway and there was a door that just like opened and someone like threw a basset hound dog through the door.
Oh my God.
And the dog started running at me. And so I was like, okay. And I thought in my head, sort of saying it, I was like, I want the dog to fly. And the dog like flew over my head and out a window.
What a
I
dream.
looked out the window and the dog was sitting there and I was like, okay, I want the dog to talk to me. And then at that point, the dog like morphed into like a man dressed as a dog, kind of like that show Wilfred. Because I guess my brain was just like, all right, that's too much. Like, we can't make a dog talk.
There's a part 2
I mean, this is
Okay,
an
interesting.
insane dream.
Hi, this message is for the web crawlers. I just got cut off while telling a story about my dream, which is like the most mortifying thing. This happened to me the second, because what's more boring than listening to somebody else's dream? Honestly, I probably deserved it. But as I to the end of the dream, I talked to the dog, like, man. But I remember him saying something that felt profound in the moment, because it's probably my subconscious trying to talk to me.
It's like,
about,
rough.
Needing love where it's ready to find you or some bullshit. I don't know. But it was cool, because I was seriously, like, very fully lucid and, like, aware in this dream state, which has never happened to me before. And then last night I had a nightmare that I was getting, like, dragged down into the ground by all these hands, like, dragged down to hell or something. I don't know.
Oh, my God, girl.
I was dreaming, and I was like, oh, sick, I got this, and just, like, propelled myself out of the ground, because I knew that I could, because it was just a dream. So, thanks for helping me escape my nightmares. Sorry for rambling. I'm gonna go now. Okay, bye.
Jeez.
That ground dream is scary.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
I would hate that. My God. I would like to know if she takes melatonin.
Right.
Because melatonin always gives me really weird dreams.
Uh-huh. Same. I had to stop taking it because it was like...
I can't. Yeah, I get like...
making me feel crazy.
I get like fever dreams. It's like, I can't do it. I took it last night and I've had the weirdest fucking dreams ever.
Okay, next message.
Hi, web crawlers. This is Rachel the Widow. I've been needing to call for a long time, but I've been in kind of a funk and not in the mood to talk, so we'll see how this goes. Oh, no, my dogs are okay. They were about to fight. One stole a bone from the other. Okay. First of all, shout out to Isabel. She was the one who mentioned recently losing her husband. We've connected on the Discord. So another reason why that place is just an amazing place.
That is so great.
An amazing community. Second, Allie. This isn't an this is a good thing. I went to you about, I want to say it was December of last year, for a virtual Reiki session.
Ooh.
And you did your thing, and you sent me an email with all the stuff that you encountered. And I was recently reading it, and there was something in there that caught my eye. You had said something about a house near water. And at the time, it didn't really mean anything to me, and I kind of forgot about it. And so that was December. And then this past May, I started the search for a house to buy. And it was this whole process, and it was terrible market for it. And then this house just kind of fell into my lap. It didn't have a basement. And in the Midwest, if you're a family buying a house, you need a basement. It's like a huge thing. So it wasn't really going anywhere. And so I was able to buy it. And it's perfect, and it's cute, and I love it. And it is about 1.25 miles from Lake Michigan, way closer to the water than I've ever lived. I mean, I saw in your email the other day that you said that there's a house near the water.
Oh, wow.
And it just kind of struck me as interesting, because now I live near the water, and I didn't at the time.
That's nice.
How weird.
So, yeah, go see Allie. For all your anyway, the other thing I was hoping to talk about was kind of interesting. Sorry, I feel like I'm like out of breath. I guess I'm just nervous. I talked to someone who speaks to your guides, and this was back in August. And so we were talking, and she had some really interesting things about past lives, and a tri-colored pig that hangs out with me, which made me think it might be my dog growing up, because she was tri-colored. Apparently a big bear that's like Smokey the bear or something. I don't know, a bunch of weird stuff. Then we started talking about my late husband, James. And
Part 2.
Hey, web crawlers, it's Rachel again. And I'm finally a 2 message leaver. I've never done that before.
Congrats.
I finally had something to say long enough to 2 messages. And I understand why people call in and feel a little, like, I don't know, ashamed of it, because when it happens, it's like you're talking and it's like, goodbye. And you're like, holy crap, what just happened? So, okay, where was I? Okay. Talking to the lady about the guides. We started talking about my husband, James. She said that when she went, because she does this thing where she goes into a trance and she kind of writes down things that come to her. She showed me on her paper that she actually wrote down the word Jimmy. And I thought that was kind of funny, because James would like introduce himself as Jimmy when we were like meeting strangers in a bar that he knew we'd probably never see again, and he was just in a weird mood and would just like introduce himself as Jimmy. Otherwise, he would just go by James. So I thought that was kind of funny. And then we were talking, and she said, well, I can tell that you're very intuitive, and I think you should try automatic writing so you can communicate with James. And she said, yeah, he says that he's willing to try it. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll give that a try. And she said, are you going on a trip soon? Like, she could tell I was going on a trip soon, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to Iceland in a month.
Ooh.
Iceland,
okay,
again.
Iceland. You should practice automatic writing. It'll take some practice. Doesn't come easy, but you should give it a try while you're there. He'll be with you, and you'll be very close to him, and you'll be able to do it, or at least try. And so it's like, okay, sure, I'll give it a shot. So I go to Iceland, I bring a notebook, and basically when I was not too tired, I would kind of meditate and just let my hand move across the page without any effort. And I was able to do that. I was able to just let my hand move without trying. And usually I would look at it afterwards, and it would just be scribbles, just nonsense scribbles. But I would do it, and on the very last night, after this amazing trip, it was beautiful, it was spiritually healing, it was just glorious. I'm sleeping in this bubble, plastic bubble, basically, where you can lay in this nice cozy bed and look up and you see the wind.
Looked at that
moving
yesterday.
the trees, and you can hear the wind, but you're like warm and safe, and you don't feel the wind.
Yeah, those
and
are
it was just this really cool experience. And so I do the automatic writing, and then at the end of it, I look, and separate from all the other scribbles, very clearly it said, "Wow."
Oh, wait, there's another part. What if that was the end? It just said, wow.
It just said, wow.
The end. Okay, part 3.
Oh, it's Rachel again. I'm a triple message leaver now. What is this? Anyway, it's ridiculous. Anyway, and it ruined my punchline. Well, it wasn't a punchline, but yes. So I'm in this beautiful setting, and then I look at it, and it says, the words say, it says, "Wow," with a heart attached to the last W. And it was very clear. Everything else was just scribbles, just ink, hand-coded, but that "wow" and the heart was super clear. And it just made me feel like he was there and he was also enjoying this experience and that it was really cool. Anyway, I don't know if anyone's had any experiences like that with automatic writing or tried anything like that, but I'm going to keep practicing and see if it gets anywhere. Yeah. I feel like there was other stuff I wanted to talk about because, again, I've been wanting to call for a while, but now it's all gone out the window with all these messages, and it's confused me, and I'm not even sure. I'll probably call back when I remember. But for now, I love you guys, and honk, honk, la, la, la.
Wow.
Wow. So I found the email. How it works basically is in-person Reiki or long-distance Reiki, like, I can't really, it's not so much Reiki that I do. Like I do like traditional Reiki, but it's more of like in my, like things come up in my head sometimes like intuitively, and I'll talk with the person through it. So I'm looking back at the email, and I guess I said, and this was a long distance one, obviously. So I said to her, without giving too much away, because she already said this in her email, I said, additionally, when I was doing the long distance Reiki, the idea of you at a house on or near the water. So I don't know. Congrats.
He's 1.5 miles away from Lake Michigan. That's nice.
There we go. So
That's
I don't know.
nice.
Sometimes things make sense in the moment. Sometimes they might make sense later. Or sometimes it's just a coincidence. You never know, but cool.
You never know.
Glad it ended up making some sort of sense.
That's nice. Those Iceland like pod things. Those look so cool.
I literally think I sent the link of it to myself yesterday because for some reason I've become obsessed with Iceland, and
you should go.
And since I've become obsessed with Iceland, every day I keep hearing things about Iceland.
Iceland it's my favorite place that I've traveled to.
Is it really? Wow. Did you love it?
It felt like a different planet.
That's wild.
Because it's just so different.
They shot Interstellar there.
Right.
Wow.
So it's like just for miles, you see these like black lava rocks, and it looks like you're on the moon or something. It's so crazy.
Wow.
Are there certain types of periods of time where it's better to go? Is that where the Aurora Borealis is?
Aurora Borealis. I was there in March, and I saw the Northern Lights, and it was cold.
Maybe that's when I'll go.
But yeah, like springtime when it's like, but it was cold where we were, but also like there was a few days where it was like 60. So like,
oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
What's near Iceland? Where is Iceland?
Near the Antarctic. It touches the Antarctic Ocean.
Did it get consent to do that?
Oh, wow. I don't think so. Next message.
Hey, web crawlers. This is Joran calling again.
Hey.
I'm sorry about all of this. But you were just talking about clowns and bozo, and I wanted to tell a very anticlimactic story. I grew up in the Chicago suburbs, and somehow I know you guys mentioned that there was a waiting list to get into a taping of the Bozo Show. Somehow, when I was a youngster, I got to go.
What?
I don't have many memories of it because it apparently was pretty traumatizing. What I do remember is I was in the audience, and then at some point, they gather up a bunch of kids, and they chose me, and they brought me into
Oh my God.
It sounds like it's going to be very creepy, but it's not. They brought me into some back room or hallway with the other kids, and it was basically them asking, "Hey, do you want to do the grand prize game?" And
Wow.
I was a little pussy, and I honestly can't say that I was necessarily scared of Bozo or anything, but I was scared. I was too scared to do it, so I blew my shot.
That's my dream.
Could have launched me to stardom, being on the grand prize game. I didn't do it, but that's what they did. They just brought kids back, and basically, I mean, they must have chosen the cutest kids, obviously,
Right.
most adorable. But yeah, I said no, and I sat there
Your biggest
in the
regret?
audience, sadly watching somebody else do it. That's all. Not a great story, but there you go. All right. Have an excellent day and week, and happy Halloween. That's it. Happy Halloween. Bye.
Wow, when was
Wow.
that message left?
These are all still from late October. We have not
Wow.
made it to November with
Wow,
these
wow.
voicemails.
Ay, caramba.
Ay, caramba. Okay, next message.
Hi, this message is for web crawlers. This is Lauren from Oklahoma City. I called about Duncan, Oklahoma last week, and then called back the next day because I just had to agree about the M&Ms being small and crunchy.
Yes.
And I blacked out. Truly, I just don't even know what I said. So if I didn't even give enough information and you even care, I would love to call back in and give more information about all the murders that happened in Duncan, Oklahoma. Okay, so what I'm calling about really is about the Austin Powers versus
Oh,
Thank
boy.
God. Thank
View
God.
from the Top quote. I have never in my life seen View from the Top. Never in my life. Never in my life have I seen The Love Guru. But I have seen every Austin Powers.
Yeah,
I
join
have
the club.
So I Married an Axe Murderer. And I have seen Shrek, all Mike Myers movie. You know what I've never heard in my life is that emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Fuck.
Never.
Yeah.
So, like Maria said in another episode, I don't know. I'm not calling anyone a liar, but like Melissa said, I would like a timestamp. I would like anything because I've seen way too much of the first Austin Powers, and it is not anywhere in there. Okay?
Uh-huh.
This was so serious, I wrote myself a note about it.
Oh my God.
Okay, well, I didn't say it the first time. You ladies are wonderful. I love listening to you. And shout out from Oklahoma City. Bye, kitty girls. La, la, la. Honk, honk.
Honk.
Woo!
Hoo-doo. Yep, I'm telling you.
I think it's
It's
View
not
from the
in
Top,
there.
but I just have to.
It's
I
View
just
from the
have to
Top.
eat it. Yeah,
Just eat it.
I just got to eat it.
Yep.
You got to eat it.
Got to eat it.
Okay, next message.
Hey, web crawlers, it's Rosie. I have a relevant clown story.
Ooh,
My dad grew up in the south side of Chicago, and
Hell yeah.
he and like Bozo was a Chicago thing, I guess. Or
Wow, her dad is
I don't
Joran.
really know. So he, when he was young, went with his brother
What
and
if it's
probably
the
his
same
other
story?
siblings to go see like Bozo tapes live.
Wait.
And I texted him when I was listening to your episode, and I was like, "Didn't you go see Bozo?" Because he definitely told me that story before. And he just texted me back, and he was like, "Yeah, your Uncle TJ, who's my dad's older brother, played one of the games and won. Not Bozo buckets, not the one where you like throw the, the classic Bozo buckets,
Right.
but the one where I guess like he had to draw a picture of Bozo on a big like paper board, and like whoever's was best won or whatever, and it was like him and two other kids. My dad says that was a major moment of pride and
Wow.
and joy in his childhood. So, not all clown experiences are horrible. I think my dad had a really good time at Bozo when he was like, 8 years old. All right. Bye, y'all.
Wow.
How
Look at
old
that.
did Bozo live to be?
Well, Bozo Show was in like the 70s through like the 90s, like 60s, I think.
Well, I guess it makes sense in the 90s. Okay.
I wanted to go on there in the 90s.
Yeah. Okay.
He's 85.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's 90.
Hey, this message is for Webcrawler. Hello, Webbies.
Hello,
this is Star
Webbies.
calling from Detroit.
Ooh,
And I don't have a great plan for this voicemail. But I will say that when I was listening to the Chippendales episode, I definitely, for the first 5 or 10 minutes or so, I don't know how long, for a little while, I thought we were talking about the TV show.
Rescue Rangers?
I was kind of passively listening in the background while I was doing some stuff. I was like, what are they going to uncover about this show about Chippendale? Which I think the theme song is like, Chippendale, a rescue ranger, Chippendale. See you later.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
That's funny.
Wow.
Yeah, so there was a murder between Chip and Dale.
Yeah, between Chip and Dale.
Message?
Hey, web crawlers. This is a Star from Detroit again. I just thought of a little story from my childhood, which you might, maybe you'll hate it. My dad used to, when I was a kid, my dad, and he's a pretty far out guy.
Nice.
Instead of telling me like a bedtime story,
Oh, no.
to tuck me in at night, he would often tell me the story about being in Arizona in his 20s and seeing alien spaceships.
Oh, my God.
And
Whoa.
I did this on more than one occasion, just like tucking me in. Let me tell you about the Arizona spaceships again. And then he would proceed to walk downstairs and
It's pretty cool.
over the living room speakers play this radio show called Hearts of Space, which is just essentially aliens communicating to each other, or like what it would sound like if aliens were clubbing or something like that. Just
Oh my
like,
God.
like very like trippy kind of sounds. So anyway, I had a hard time sleeping.
Sure.
All right, take care, guys. Bye, ladies, gals. See ya.
Wow. Instead of bedtime stories, like, let me tell you about some aliens.
Wow.
Wow, that's fun.
That's funny. That's a fun dad right
That's
there.
a fun dad. That's a groovy dude.
Okay, next message.
Hello, web crawlers.
Hi.
This is going to be
Hello.
the most boring message ever because I really have nothing to say.
Cool.
I'm walking to work and my AirPods aren't working, so I decided to call you guys. I went to the Waverly Hills Sanatorium last weekend.
Oh.
I was pretty excited, but it was a pretty uneventful event. I mean, other than the history, it was very interesting, but I didn't feel anything. I didn't see anything. I don't really believe in that stuff that much, so I didn't think I was going to see anything, but I thought maybe I would feel like some spooky air or something going on. I don't know.
Spooky
Have you guys
Spooky
done
air.
an episode about the Waverly Hills Sanatorium? Because if not, you should. And that's about it.
I think
I also want to say hi to my friend Ashley. I love you, Ashley. I'm 99% sure I started listening to this podcast because she shared it on Instagram. So you guys should love her.
Oh.
Bye.
Oh.
Wow. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you,
The
Ash.
Waverly Hills Sanatorium. I don't know if we've done an episode specifically on that, but I know we've talked about it.
Yeah, I think we've like covered it. Like we've mentioned it, but we haven't done a full on.
Okay, interesting. Okay, here's our last message of the day.
Wow.
Hello, web crawlers. This
Hello.
is me again.
Hi.
I just wanted to apologize if I sound winded because I'm walking to work and I'm late and I'm really out of shape. But that is all. Also, I wish I loved your voicemail episodes more. Kind of hypocritical that I'm talking about that, even though I'm leaving you guys a voicemail.
Wow.
They're really hard to understand sometimes.
I
I
can
don't know
see
if
that. I
anyone
can see
else-
that.
Is like a little bit hard of hearing, but I'm losing my hearing from one ear. And sometimes I literally have no idea what the people are saying when they leave a voicemail. But I guess it's still interesting to hear your guys' comments about whatever the hell they're saying. Anyways, bye again. Have an awesome day.
Oh no.
What a great note to end on.
Yeah. Your episode sucked. We can't hear it.
We
Yeah,
can't hear you.
sometimes it is hard to hear people if it's not super clear.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
call from a landline if and when you can.
Whoa.
What the fuck was that?
Whose dog is barking?
That surprisingly wasn't me. Pickles barks like that?
That's a loud dog.
That's a loud dog right there.
That's a loud dog,
loud
right
dog
there.
right
That's
there.
a loud doggy right there. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much as usual for
As usual.
for all your voicemails. We love you so much. I am Allie Siegel.
I am Melissa Stetton.
And I'm producer Maria.
Gobble gobble, bitch.
Gobble
Bye.
gobble, bitches.